Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Interactions, where unfortunately, I died to one of the boss mobs in the nether. I was trying to level a gas data model, and one of the bosses got me. Unfortunately, I did lose a ton of levels for that. After I got the stuff back though, I did set up this temporary DML system. This is just so that we can collect extraterrestrial matter for EXP. Last episode we finished by crafting these health shelves to give us level 150 enchantments. And I did manage to enchant a few pieces of gear. As you can see, we've switched out to using Fluxed Infused Armour. I was able to actually get 60 levels from this quest reward here, which let me enchant a few books, and right now we have some protection on breaking and fire protection on here. I also put airtight seal and block reach on our Mantle of the Stars. And just a quick recap, the reason we're doing this is to be able to fight the Chaos Guardian. But last time we also moved our Astral Sorcery area over. I did clean this up in between episodes here. I think it's looking quite nice. This is nothing special really, it's just better than what it was, so yeah. And we also moved over Thaumcraft, which I have cleaned up as well. I was going to put a roof on this, but I decided it would look quite cool if we have it open to the sky. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the way this has turned out. I don't know what I'm going to do with the floating building, whether I'm going to build down or build the terrain up. I haven't quite decided yet. Same with like over here. And then I also just enclosed this little corridor, made a little room for the beacon. Also last episode we were having a little bit of trouble with our ME controller getting power. I think the problem was that I updated Applied Energistics, so I've since downgraded to the version I was playing a few days ago. And that seems to have fixed it. I think it was a bug with power transfer on P2P connections, which is why that subnet down there was getting power but our main net wasn't. And I've also hooked the energy acceptor straight up to the CEU here with some batteries in. And to make this armour that I'm wearing, this actually took some fluxed armour plating, which is made in the assembler with flux crystals and fluxed electron plate. And this is made in the blast furnace with carbon ingots and fluxed electron blend with some helium. So I added an extra blast furnace in here and just threw that in there. I think we should have some, there's some left over. So while we wait on DML giving us some more levels, let's also do some more preparations for this dragon fight. The first of which is, I think I'm going to reset my perks in Astral Sorcery. We got this quest reward for the Irradiant Star, which lets us keep our levels and reset our perks. So let's take this one. We want Visio, as this is what we're attuned to. And this will remove all of our perk points. Yep, we're still level 32. And we can now select new perks. So, I would like to grab this Singularity perk, which lets you take all of the root perks. And obviously we're going to keep Spectral Wings, which lets us fly. So yeah, by taking the Singularity perk we get access to all of the different routes. We grab our Spectral Wings. And I think I'll also grab Bigger Stomach again. And then I also took the Gem Socket slot, which gives us some extra armour, life, movement speed and runic shielding. And then I took Phoenix Blessing, which basically prevents death if you take more than 6 hearts, I think it is, with a 50-second cooldown. So you can see our total perk statistics right here. We got another 150 levels from our matter from the DML. Let's see what we can get on these leggings. So this may actually end up being a silly idea, but I might actually just go to the end island where the Chaos Guardian is, just to see how we fare with our current armour. I mean, it's not awful, and we have this dislocator we got in a dungeon, so worst case we can just teleport back. Before I go though, I'm going to put Unbreaking on this Mantle of the Stars, as I think Unbreaking reduces the chance for this to take durability, which means we'll take less life mending damage, is the theory anyway. So hopefully that should reduce our damage taken a little bit, and we'll bind our dislocator to right here. This does only have 20 uses remaining, but that's okay. And as for the weapon we're going to use, I'm going to put this bow with life mending just to make sure it doesn't break while we're there. And I'm also going to give it power 11. I'll also make a handful of these anchors, which let you keep your items when you die. So I guess I'll put it on the bow, and then each of the armor pieces. We should already have it on the Mantle of the Stars. And just for some extra precautions, I'm going to take a few of these Phoenix Downs that I got in the dungeon, which resurrects to full HP when we die. I have 3 of them here, plus a Soul Stone. I got all these in dungeons, so we may as well make use of this. So let's go find a Chaos Island. I believe there are actually every 5,000 blocks in this pack, so I've got some flying to do. Alright, I think we're almost there. We're at 4,000 blocks. Is that the island up there? You got the boss bar. Okay, let's see how horribly wrong this is going to go. I got my dislocator. I brought this air sigil just for a bit faster flight speed. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hello. We meet again. We seem to be alright. At least for the chaos damage. Alright, let's see if we can down some of his crystals. Okay, I think we got all the inside. Let's try to get the outside ones. Okay, that was a lot of damage. We have to regen. I don't know where all that damage came from. Let's get some potions going. Okay, so we're not completely invincible. I've got most of my HP back. Let's try to get the outside crystals now. Yeah, this air sigil was definitely a good call for more flight speed to try to evade. Oh, I accidentally clicked the dislocator. Oh no. Well, I'll see you back on the end island then. Alright, round 2, here we go. I think life mending is actually doing more damage to me from the bow. Because more or less every time I attack, I take some damage. And we're also not getting our beacon effects here. But it looks like we have to do the inside ring once again. Alright, I think I've got all the crystals now. I feel like I've been attacking crystals for the last 10 minutes. But we seem to be doing a little bit of damage at least to him. He's also dealing more damage to me now, it seems. There we go, yeah. We are dealing damage. Ow, 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 ow. Ah, I can't get out of this. I can't escape. Okay, are you done? Is that enough? I think I have to use the obsidian pillars here. Okay, I guess we're just standing here now. He doesn't want to move, he's just stuck there. Oh, he just teleported me. I forgot about this mechanic. So I found that it's actually probably more effective for us to melee him because of all the block reach I've got on my chest piece. Okay, new plan. I found that if we just tail him and go for the melee attacks, we're able to get off way more damage. And when he's in this phase, you have to damage him to break him out of it. So we can just try to fly around him and try to melee him, and that should break him out of the attack. Oh, we're on half HP. Yeah, he must have flew into us there. Also last potion, so hopefully we can get him. Alright, we're almost there, I've been chasing this guy for half an hour now. Alright, here we go. Last hits, come on. Oh, come on, he doesn't even have any HP left. How is he still alive? There we go. Finally. Dragon down. Yeah, we should probably get out of this meteor storm. I don't want to die here. And after 35 minutes, we got the dragon. There's the chaos shard. Okay, so the plan is to grab this dislocator out and then, yeah, we're good. As soon as we break this, the whole island destroys itself. So I think as long as there's no lightning strikes here, because I'm only on 1 HP. Let's do this. Okay, we got the shards. Let's go. Uh-oh. Okay, we have to get out of here. I forgot about the dislocator not letting us teleport when we're low. Let's just fly far, far away from here. Oh look, an end island. Let's see what's in the ship. We might as well since we're here, right? Elytra and some armor. Oh, and some potions. Nice. Alright, we're back at the end island here. I'd like to see what kind of ores we have, as this is the main reason we came here. Let's see if we can find some platinum. But the island doesn't seem to have destroyed itself yet, which is weird. Do I still have the scanner? I do, okay. We have 2 pieces of iridium ore here. I have a feeling the vein should be bigger than this though, right? I mean, 3 ores, is this all we're gonna get? Maybe the island doesn't destroy itself in this pack. Maybe that's been disabled. As for the ores though, this chaos mining quest says that it's filled with large dense veins of rare metals on the chaos islands, and yeah, we have we have no veins here unless I just got very, very unlucky. Oh wait, did I miss a spot over there? Is this what we're after? Iridium and Platinum. Yeah, I guess it is. So I mined up all the platinum. I also found some scheelite and tungstate But as for platinum and palladium, we have like half a stack. And we're going to need way more than that. So as you can see, we're at positive 10,000 Z coordinate. I decided to come to a different Chaos Island. And this vein is so much bigger with platinum. So I'm going to see if I can try to just mine this. Maybe I can just get it without killing the Guardian again. I mean, we are chaos resistant, and I've got the dislocator just for emergencies. Alright, so we are back, and this is our total yield from the end. Most of this is actually endstone, so technically this is our total yield. I feel like we got quite unlucky though, but we have a couple of stacks at least. But now that we have all this ore, we have to actually process it all. So we could just throw it all with our ore processing system over here. That would work, just to throw it in the start of this chain. However, this doesn't produce the most yield we can get from one ore. If we check the uses for platinum ore here, we can first of all Starlight Transmute it to dense ore, then chemical reactor that with mana and life essence, and we get concentrated blood shards. With those, we can put them in a plasma arc furnace along with blazing pyrotheum, and we get a platinum crystal. And then we can autoclave that with UU matter. I don't know if we're going to do this step specifically. We may just go straight to smelting, because we're not quite making UU matter yet. But then from here we get the native clusters, which is the same as what we're getting in our ore processing. And then it just goes to crushed, and then impure, and then it's centrifuge. So there's quite a few steps extra, but I think it's going to be worth for these rare ores. And we'll be able to use it for in the future as well for things like osmium, which I think should spawn in the Chaos Islands, but I didn't manage to find any. So I'm going to have to go back and hunt for some more of that. But the first step in this processing chain is to automate Starlight Transmutation. So to do that, I've built one of these collector crystal structures here, next to our ore processing system. We're going to just use a regular collector crystal here, but we will eventually upgrade this thing. So we'll put down our crystal. This should give some particles off if I've built the multi-block right. Maybe it has to be linked to something. Let's try linking it. Okay, we'll try make a celestial crystal, just to see if that one works. I have this one from a quest reward, so we'll craft that into the collector version. Aha, yeah, I think it has to be celestial for it to work. But now we're getting the particles, and this should speed up the process of changing ores into dense. So we obviously want to automate this process, the placing of the ores. And for that I think we're going to use applied energistics, formation and annihilation cores, or planes. So we can do annihilation plane on one side, formation plane on the other. To store the output we're just going to put them into a ME chest, and we'll use a 1k storage cell for this. So now that we have this set up, I have a storage bus on here. We're going to set this to extract only. So now any ores that get put in here will be placed by the formation plane and then broken by the annihilation plane and put into the chest. But we first have to power this system, and we're going to make it a little subnet. So I'm going to just grab power from our main net over there. Okay, I don't think this is quite what we want here. So to fix that, I've split this onto its own little subnet by putting a piece of quartz fibre here. And I've also switched out the ME chest to a GregTech chest with a ore dictionary filter in here for dense ores. This has a storage bus set to, well, I'm going to set to insert only. So now when we link this crystal to this block here, we should see that this ore turns into dense ore, picked up by the annihilation plane and put in this wooden chest. Wait, did I not link this? Maybe this interface is in the way actually. Well, in that case, we'll direct the light into the lens, and then the lens into the block. There, now I think it's connected. So now when we put a piece of ore in here, it's going to get placed by the formation plane, turn into dense ore, and end up in the chest. So from here we have to grab a chemical reactor with lifeblood and mana. So the mana we're already producing here in our system, so we can just import this from our main ME network. As for the life essence though, we are getting this from our blood altar, but it's way too slow. So there is also, believe it or not, a chicken solution for this. If we fluid extract blood apples, we can directly convert those into life essence, and the bloody chicken will lay these apples for us. So let's make this bloody chicken. So we need infinity reagents, that's usual, smart chicken, liquid nightmares, and demon blood shards. Okay zombies, I need your blood shards. Please. No blood shards. Okay, creepers, will you give me blood shards? Hey, blood shard. And we're going to mix that with our will crystals and life essence. Or maybe not, it needs to be HV, okay. Okay, well then there's a HV mixer. Now do you work? Yes. Very slow though. There we go. For the chicken we also need these liquid nightmares, which used to be up next to our astral sorcery area. I don't think I showed this last episode, but I've moved it down next to where we actually consume this thing. So we just have the 4 light wells to produce liquid nightmares here. I need 10 buckets. And with those we can get our chicken. And the quest. Alright, so now that we have the chickens up to 10, 10, 10, I've put them in their own little roost here with a fluid extractor. This is going to give us life essence, and we're going to output this into a fluid interface. Auto output on. And we just have to plug this in, just make sure there's enough channels here. I will also have to partition a fluid storage drive for life essence here. So let me go and do that. Alright, so now there's life essence in our ME network. We should be able to just directly import it into this chemical reactor. So we can put a fluid interface down, filter life essence and mana, and plug this into our main network. Actually, I kind of want to raise it off the floor 1 block. Yeah, I think we'll raise it up. And we'll put a pump on the bottom of the chemical reactor set to import. That's going to give us both our fluids. And now we have to import the output of this chest into our chemical reactor. So I'm just going to use some conduit for that. There we go. That's going to get us concentrated blood shards. And from here we need a plasma arc furnace with blazing pyrotheum. So to do that we're going to need another fluid extractor. And we are actually producing pyrotheum dust right here. So we're going to use this in a fluid extractor. I think we'll actually just try to squeeze it in about here. Let's see, we've got power here, so we could move this CEF over. And then to import the pyrotheum, we can just use a conveyor module on here, set to import, which we can output on the bottom actually, and just share this fluid interface. Which means we should just be able to run some conduit underneath here, and set the outputs. Nice, so I will also have to partition another drive for this. Nice, so now that we have the pyrotheum, we need one of these arc furnaces. This does take one of these quantum assemblies, which we should look at upgrading soon to the crystal processors. But there's a few more things we have to make to be able to craft these. So I guess I'll just use the quantums for now. And then it's just 2 pumps, some titanium and graphite it looks like. Alright, there's our arc furnace. So to get the items and fluids in here, I think we'll just share the same interface just to save some channels. So I did put a filter on the insert of this for life essence and mana. And we'll also add blazing pyrotheum to this fluid interface. And also filter the insert of the arc furnace. And that just leaves the items. So I think we'll do a little buffer chest here. We may end up upgrading this. I don't know what the speeds it will be. We may have to actually add more machines here. But then we can just auto output on this chemical reactor for items. And then conveyor on the plasma arc furnace, set to import. Nice, so this will give us our crystals, and from here we have to, well, either smelt or we have to decide if we want to autoclave with the UU matter. But this also gives us phosphoric acid, and I'm not sure if I want to keep this or not. I mean, I guess we're using it for cumene, which is over here. No, this one, this one, this one. We're using it for cumene here, but we are getting it from apatite dust. And all of this stuff is free, so I think I may actually just throw this phosphoric acid away. We could electrolyze it for phosphorus dust, but I don't know if we need this either. We may need it for indium gallium phosphide though. I remember we had to do this in Omnifactory. However, in this pack we are actually making indium from the crystal shards of the orbital miner. So I actually don't think it's necessary, and because of that I'm just going to trash it for now. If we need it we'll come back and grab it later on. So we're just going to put a trash can on top of the arc furnace. Alright, so I was having a little think about what we want to do next with these crystals. Again, we could smelt them, but why not just take it the extra step and put it in the autoclave with UU matter. So, for UU matter, I think this is also used later on as well. Yeah, we're going to need it for neural processing units. So, to make UU matter, it's made in a HV mixer with neutral and positive matter. And to get both of these liquids, we have to use the mass fabricator. And as you can see, there's 172 pages of recipes here. You can pretty much throw just about any fluid, or there's some dust at the back as well. Yes, some dust you can throw through here. And they all give various amounts of positive and neutral matter at different durations as well. So like this one takes what, 20,000 seconds? Whereas Damascus steel here takes 280. But it does give a different output, so yeah. So I went through some of the recipes here, and apatite has actually caught my eye here. We produce positive and neutral matter in almost the same quantity here. It does take 2000 seconds each, but this is at LV tier, so we will get the good overclocking behaviour since it's 32 EU a tick. And the appetite dust here we're actually making from chickens. We have this crafter here making us appetite. Connected to that is a roost back there, I think. Yeah, this guy here. So let's see about setting up UU matter then. Or maybe not. So yeah, this thing takes field generators, which takes nether stars. That's okay, we've got plenty of those things. Quantum processors, we have these on autocraft. But osmium wire, we don't have any osmium yet. And to get osmium, I think it does spawn in the end as ore. But I wasn't able to find any in 2 different Chaos Islands, so I wonder if there's any other way we can get this. It seems that it is actually a chance output at Iridium ore, which we do have a fair bit of by now. So I think what we'll do is actually process this just the regular way without doing the autoclave, just to try and get a little bit of osmium from this. But yeah, the ore processing is still quite backed up here. Let's just take some of this out manually and try to get some of the platinum through this line. Wait a second, I was putting platinum through here. We need some iridium actually, because the osmium only comes from the iridium byproduct. I thought it was both, but it seems we need iridium instead. So let's get some of that going through our new system here. Luckily at night this is quite fast. Alright, I managed to get some purified iridium through our system. And hopefully we get a chance at some osmium here. Oh, there's one. Alright, we're up to 5. Let's see how many we need for this arc furnace. So we're going to need 2 of these mass fabricators, which means we need 4 field gens. Which means we need 8 times 8x osmium wire. However, we do also have to cook this in the blast furnace. And this is a MV recipe with temperature of 3306. We can do it in our nichrome blast furnace, which is good. It does take quite a long time though, so let's go and get that started at least. To speed it up a bit, I'm going to overclock to EV tier. And this is now running. Okay, so we need half a stack of this stuff. Let me get the rest of the materials for these mass fabricators and then we'll be back. So I noticed while trying to get some more iridium through here that after the ore washing step, the bottleneck is actually the sifting machines. So if we look in this chest for purified, this is all filled with stuff that has to go this way to the sifters. And these pulverizers are sitting empty. So to alleviate that, I'm going to add this modular storage just in between that buffer and these sifters. And free up this chest to allow the items to go left and process down the macerating chain. And while we're doing this, we may as well just set this blast furnace up as our permanent osmium producer. So to do that, I'm just going to piggyback off that interface back there. And then we can just add the limited item filter on here for osmium dust. And then send the outputs back on blue channel on the output bus. And these are hot ingots, so they will automatically go in our freezer. And then we just have to add osmium to this interface here. And I will also level limit this, as we want to keep some osmium dust. Actually, we don't need this anymore. And luckily we've got 1 channel left on this. We're at 31 of 32, so we have enough for the level emitter. I've just configured this for the 1 osmium dust right now, as we need as much osmium as we can get. But at least now that this is placed, we can just come over here and configure it later, and we don't have to worry about the channel usage or anything. And this will just be set up for when we have excess osmium. Alright, so we're able to get a fair decent amount of osmium, we just have to wait on it cooking in the blast furnace. So let's set up the rest of the infrastructure and just, I don't know, pretend that we have these mass fabricators. So I'm not actually sure where I want to set this up. The problem right now is just channels really. Like we are out of channels pretty much everywhere. And all this area around here is just crowded, especially underneath. Maybe we can set it up right here. Let's see what kind of space we've got underneath here. Oh yeah, we've got loads of space. Actually, this might be too much space. We only need 3 machines for this is the problem. So maybe this little corner. Actually, we'll do it like right here next to our little intersection. So these 2 blocks are going to be the mass fabricators. Then the output's going to go into 2 drums. And from there, they're going to combine it into this mixer. And this is going to mix our UU matter. We just have to hook up the logic for this. So we can do output from both these drums into the mixer. And now all we need is an interface to supply the apatite dust. I'm not actually sure if this is the most efficient use of apatite, or the most efficient way to make the positive neutral matter. So if you guys maybe have any suggestions on what we can use instead, let me know. But for now I guess we'll just use apatite. And then the output of the mixer, which will be UU matter, is going to go into another fluid interface. And this UU matter I'm just planning to store in our applied energistic system. So let me go and partition our drive for that and then grab the other machines that we need. Okay, so we just passed enough osmium to be able to craft our cables, which means we can get our second field generator and our mass fabricator. I think I might have said earlier that we need 2 of these things, and I was thinking since there's 2 fluid outputs, but the one machine does actually give the 2 outputs, at least on most of the recipes. So I've changed this around just to be able to put 1 down. There's going to be apatite from this interface, and then it's going to still buffer into these 2 steel drums. We have some filters on each one for neutral and positive above. Then we just have to set this conduit to import. That's going to give us some apatite dust, and yeah, this thing is super slow. I mean, it does give 260 nearly millibuckets each, and we only need 10 for every 20 millibuckets of UU matter. So we will actually get a fair amount from every apatite dust. Now, since we don't produce this in exactly the same quantity, we will end up in a situation where one of these drums fills up, but that's not going to happen for a very long time, so I think we'll just address that when that happens. And yeah, there's our first UU matter. Looks like this isn't getting quite enough energy though. Alright, so I swapped over the CEF, and I think actually we're just not producing enough power, because both of these are empty. We don't have any power in our flux point here, and all of the output hatches on our generator is completely empty, apart from this one. So I think pretty soon we're going to have to look into better power gen than this. Yeah, I think for now we can only afford to run one of these machines at once. So maybe we downgrade this to HV mixer. I don't want to waste the fluids in here though, so let's first of all output to our system for the UU matter. And I will take this positive and neutral matter with me. Oh no, I placed this backwards. This does seem to be keeping up though. So we're getting UU matter. I'm going to fix the placement of this thing in a second. Alright, so that is slowly giving us UU matter. And while I was waiting on the osmium, I kind of put some decoration on this little area. And I also made this autoclave for the next step, which is to turn the iridium with the UU matter into the native clusters. Just need to give that some power, and we're getting our ore clumps. And at this point, we can either use Thaumcraft for this, but I don't think we're going to be doing this way. I mean, maybe. I never knew this existed. I thought it was just the smelt from the ore. But this will double it again. I think for now we're just going to send this through our ore processing, so we have to get the output of this into the start of our ore processing line, which is this ender chest. And ideally we would just create a new ender chest for this and configure it to black, 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 and then just put it on the output of that. So maybe next episode we'll look into what we're missing for this. I think it's just the void metal, to be honest. All the rest of the stuff we should have. But this episode's running a little bit long, so I think we're going to leave it off here. For now I'm just going to put this through manually. And wait a minute, why is this not smelting? Oh, I think our output bus here is too small even. Alright, well let's fix that and make an EV output bus. Now it should work. Yeah, there we go. So from like almost half a stack of those little gems, we got 7 stacks of clusters. And these are going to go into 14 stacks of crushed. So yeah, that'll be 14 stacks of iridium. And whatever the chance output is at osmium. Man, that's a lot of ore. And we could technically go further with Thaumcraft as well. I don't know if that'll be necessary though. But yeah, I think we're going to end off here for today. Our fuel actually has been keeping up, which is quite nice to see. I've been checking on this every so often. But yeah, next time I think we're going to clean this up and then probably look into the next power tier option. And possibly look into the next planet we need to go to, which is Aurelia. Which means we need to craft the artifact, but that's going to take a little bit more infrastructure to do. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more FTB interactions.